The game Saturday was a grind. I mean, we felt that. That was a tough one. And I think any good team appreciates getting pushed. And they were definitely pushing back on us throughout. And I kind of exposed our lack of proper mindset coming into that game. And so we learned a lot coming back out today. Made a few different choices. I still would do what I did. I guess I can explain that later, but the team came ready to play. We knew what we were up against, and they, again, had us back. Wichita had us up against the ropes again early in the game, but there was a lot of fight ready from this team. They knew what was at stake. It was really important for us to try to win that first one. I'm really proud of what they've done and how they did it.
We'll get started with Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Patty, I guess I'll just start with what you mentioned there, the pitching, the way that you started off. What was your thinking there? And then how did you feel about it after the first, having to go to Nicole that early?
That was kind of the game plan. You know, Olivia Raines has some good stuff, and she showed that. She only threw a couple batters against Morgan State, but her stuff could work well against the Wichita State hitters. Might have been a little unfair to put her in that big environment, but everybody needs to experience it one time or another to know what it feels like. We wanted to see what she could get away with, and started off kind of going okay. And then we had a walk and a hit batter, and things started to spiral. We felt that Alana could be another decent matchup, but that didn't go very well from the start. We knew that Nicole May, we weren't going to let the run total get past about 4 before we brought in Nicole May from the bullpen. And we felt confident that we would be able to score runs. We just didn't want it to get too far, but that's why we wanted to do it right from the start versus trying to bring them in late in the game. It was better for us to measure this early than late.
And then just sorry, Patrick.
No, go for it, Ryan.
I was just Nicole, her performance there to go the rest of the way.
Tremendous. For a freshman to come in, and you know, she's really grown so much. Her confidence, her swag on the mound, her stuff's getting better. I'm telling you what, Wichita State, I'm going to say this again, no one's listening. They shouldn't be at this regional. They shouldn't. And it makes me sick that they were, because they're too good. They deserve better than to come to the #1 seed. They really did. And they're the best hitting team I think I've seen this season. We faced some good ones like Oklahoma State, but this team has clutch ability. That is for sure. So for Nicole May to face that lineup, knowing that we're down by 4, I think she handled herself really well. I'm looking at the numbers and see that she gave up 3 runs. That's success against Wichita State, to be honest. So thought she handled herself very well.
Yeah, Patty, your non-conference schedule was sort of abbreviated from what you usually do. Did that mean in the regional, where you sort of get some fresh opponents, did that give you the opportunity to learn more about your team this weekend? And if so, what? Yeah,
I think so. Morgan State, that was a team for I think their first trip to a regional. So I don't know that it gave us a ton of a challenge, but Wichita State did. We played them earlier in the season and we run ruled them, but I didn't think they played their best. They came off a long weekend. I knew with them walking into this weekend, they felt like they got misseeded, and they were coming here on a mission, and you could feel it. That kind of push we needed. We felt that against Oklahoma State. We felt that against Georgia, some other teams. So what I learned about this team is that they know how to respond when they get pushed. and they can push back. And I love their response in that way.
Go to Taylor Eldridge.
Yeah, Coach, I was just curious. Obviously, you guys have won a lot of these regionals. How does Wichita State kind of stack up in terms of, a second seed? You mentioned right there that, WSU felt like they were maybe misseeded a little bit. How did you kind of feel about that? And how did they kind of stack up to, past 2 seeds that you played?
Yeah, I think their depth in their pitching staff is a little bit short, and you could feel that. So you really have to attack that lefty and get after her. She throws a ton of innings, and last night she threw more. So I knew she was coming in tired, as was Bingham, their second pitcher. You could tell that they were a little wiped out. Besides that, I thought their defense was really, really good, made some good plays. Offense is just top to bottom. They're just feisty. They get contagious with their swings, and they score really fast. So definitely, I think that they could have gone to any place in the country and pushed anybody the way they pushed us, probably even further. So I respect them, and I feel like they made us better this weekend.
The last one for Coach Joey Helmer.
Yeah, Coach, obviously the offensive numbers were pretty gaudy this weekend, but I want to ask you about Tiare Jennings, because you moved her back to the leadoff spot, and she has 6 RBIs today, really kind of settled in this weekend, it seemed. What were your thoughts on just kind of her weekend overall?
Yeah, I thought it was a move that worked out pretty well for us. She was about a 2-week, it was like a 2-week where she just didn't seem the same. She got sick. And then that kind of took her out of her rhythm a bit. And she recovered, and you could see her get her strength back. You could see her moving a little bit better. And Jada Coleman did a fantastic job in the leadoff spot as the interim. But Tiare just sets a different kind of tone, where Jada sets her own kind of tone. And I kind of like Jada's tone in the middle of the lineup, because it can really turn things over and create. She's like another leadoff for us. She's hitting in the 4-hole, but I've had her in the 5 and the 6, and I like her in those spaces. So Tiare wanted, without saying it, she wanted that leadoff back. I know she did. So we went into the weekend with it, and we're not turning back from that. Worked out really well.